Okay. Introduce you.
So last week, our next speaker heard a speech about the importance of keepsakes and trophies, reminding us of our past accomplishments, no matter how small or insignificant. That speech hit home with him, not because they were a quick reference guide to our true selves when life beats us up, but also because he found the folly in trying to replace one such lost award. With that, I give you our next speaker, working on engaging humor, level 3, connecting with storytelling. Lane Jarsonbeck, not quite what I had in mind.
Growing up, I donned the walls of my bedroom, like most of my friends, with my favorite sports heroes and legends, pioneers in the field, as you would. That's out of the way. However, as time went on, I found some friends lived in homes where the rooms were decorated with trophies and awards, signifying somebody's accomplishments, swimming, baseball, golf. And I thought, at the age of 8, that I like to emulate my sports heroes, and I could emulate them and get these same kind of awards all the time. This would be a great decoration of my room, but my room would be better. I was going to throw away the 5th place trophies, the 3rd place, 2nd place, only blue ribbons for my room and large 1st place trophies. That's it. That's what's going to adorn my room. End of story. This is going to be great. And there in 3rd grade, they had an Olympic event per grade. And so in 3rd grade, I sign up and I'm taking these events and I win some. And I got an award. I got a few awards and they looked a lot like this. And I was so proud of myself. It's like, oh, this is just wonderful. I can't wait to do it again. Keeping true to my word, I threw away all my 2nd and my 3rd place awards. This would explain why by the time I hit 6th grade, I only had 2 awards. And so when my friends said they were going to join Little League basketball, sure, I'll do it, because joining an organized sport is really the only way to do it. It's not my first choice because I don't need some coach to tell me I'm going to ride the bench. I have come, win or lose, to play the game, not to ride the bench. But I'm going to do it, and this is going to be great. And it was at the end of the year, or the end of that season, I got my first trophy. It was a silver trophy. It was a basketball statue, and it was embedded with a light blue band with red and silver stars. And it was great. It was 6 inches tall, and it was a participation trophy. Now, learning my lesson about throwing away other trophies, I said, I'll just keep this one. And I kept that trophy. I kept that trophy. I hated that trophy. Every time I looked at it, I knew it was a sham. It was a canard. It was the substance that is not Shinola. As much as I may have wanted to have been a Harlem Globetrotter growing up, the only thing worse than the color of my skin to get me on that team were my basketball skills. So when I threw that trophy away, I never felt better. 7th grade. 7th grade, I'm really into sports, and I'm really into working out, and this is going to be great, and I can't wait to do some fun stuff in 7th grade. And I'm also really good at watching 50s and 60s TV reruns. And one day I'm watching Gomer Pyle, and they have an episode that involved obstacle course. And that looks so cool, the challenge of an obstacle course. It's like, that Saturday, I went down to the Marine recruiter's office and I asked the sergeant, I said, hey, is there any way that I could possibly join over the summer and take boot camp? Not as a recruit, but just as some sort of a summer workout. And the sergeant said no. And that was the end of that. So there I am in 8th grade. I'm an AB student. I can do sit-ups for hours and I can run for miles at a time, but I still only have 2 awards, both which are 4 and 5 years old. And then my friend John said, Boy Scouts. And I thought, there's an organization I can join. I was a Cub Scout. I can join this one. They're an organized sport, but this is great. And they offer trophies. They call it merit badges. And then when I joined, the camp counselors or the scout counselor started talking about summer camp and was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'll go and I'm going to do the merit badges for an entire week, and I'll just focus on that. And it also turned out, not only was it a great challenge for me, they answered all my prayers, because on the bus ride into the camp, I looked out the window and there was an obstacle course. And I was there playing on that thing every day, and I was so excited. And then I found that they had an Olympic challenge for between the troops. And I thought, oh, this is something. Toastmaster or Scoutmaster, do you mind if I represent our troop? And I practiced and I practiced. And the day of the event, I knew I had practiced to the best of my ability, and I was ready for any challenge that came before me. And then I saw Dave and watched Dave tackle that first obstacle. The first obstacle on the course was this very tall wall, and it had a knotted rope, and the object is you run up, you grab the wall, the rope, and you start climbing your way up the wall, and you throw yourself over the other end. Dave was the center for his high school basketball team. Dave jumped up, grabbed the wall, and threw himself right over. At my height, I had never even dreamed this was an option. But as it turned out, I won the event. And no kidding, it was by 1 second and 1 second only. In fact, later that fall, I went to a prep school, to a dance. I was invited to a dance at the prep school, and Dave went to that school, and he was still joking around, saying, oh, you know, how angry he was that or disappointed that he lost by 1 second. And that was great. And during an award ceremony, I had my first trophy. And as it turned out, it would also be my last award in sports altogether. The following year, I had a trampoline accident. X-rays on my back showed some things, and they kicked me out of sports forever and a day. And it was okay. I was in high school. I took drama. I won some district and state awards for that. And upon graduation, I even got Senior Notable Wittiest Award. Despite these awards, until 2017, that obstacle course trophy was my most cherished possession. It was smaller, actually, than this Wittiest Awards trophy, but words can't really explain how important it was to me. Now, as we can see, after 40 years of moving from location to location, you get some damage to even our most cherished possessions, and the obstacle course trophy got it even worse. So for 30 years, that trophy, after I threw it away, is nothing more than a memory. And my wife said, you know, you can always replace it. I said, well, they don't make that style trophy anymore. It's from the 70s. She said, well, you know, you could change it. Oh, no, that'd be like cheating. And then in 2022, getting some awards for a humor contest and table topics contest for Toastmasters, I just a few trophy strips stopped and I shot and I said, maybe I will. I can replace this trophy. Now, there's an interesting thing about my mind is that it can conjure up and come up with all sorts of great ideas and notions. But the uninteresting part about my brain is I can't picture dimension. People who can look at an empty space and see a remodeled kitchen are an enigma to me. I'm very jealous of their ability to do that. So there I am deciding what platform I want, what color scheme I should have, maybe what figurine should go in my statue. And I gave it to him and he said, it'll be a week and we'll call you when it's done. And it was $75, which to me was a great thing for something so very important to me. And they called. And not having the ability to know anything about dimension, this is what I got. The word gaudy just kind of comes screaming at you. It's perhaps the ugliest, most hideous thing I've ever seen. Also, the nicest thing you can say is it's shiny. The figurines are, you can't even say it's proportional. I try and hide it anymore, but it's so big you can't really hide it. And so I leave you with this. It's great. Keep your awards. I believe in the person that gave that speech, that the awards are so very important and your memories are so cherished because, you know, not everybody's going to know you as you're older and your accomplishments. But if you want to replace something, you may want to take the dimensions with you and hand it to them away. Thank you very much.